Hey there, and welcome to July 20th market update. My name is Casey Joyner with Scenic Sotheby's, and this is an action-packed episode today. And we're coming off of last week where I got into probably the most intriguing headlines from a quarterly report that we've had since I started doing this. And by your reaction, those who text me and those who just kind of sent me comments about it, I think you agree. And I'm so intrigued by it that today we're going to take even a deeper dive. I pulled out kind of what I think are the top 4 takeaways from the report in general that we need to kind of digest. And I'm going to highlight those and kind of show you what's happening this week. But man, I'm just super excited. If you missed last week, go back and watch it after this if you just missed it. But we kind of brought some things to the table. We're going to highlight that today, and there's going to be much more from it because it tells the story. You know, when I started this, I've had people say, Casey, doing the numbers weekly, like that's a lot, right? Like you could just do it monthly or you could do it quarterly. You're right. But here's the trick. All of a sudden, when you get a quarter like we had, that daily compounding, that weekly compounding that we're doing, a lot of you guys were able to shake your heads and go, I mean, that makes sense based on what we've been stacking up. But if I just come to you quarterly and go, here it is, we don't have the full context. But because we do this weekly, we've kind of seen this coming and we've got the full context. So I can't wait to bring that to you. So let's go into this week's numbers, and then I've got some fun stuff for you. And by the way, man, I talked to so many of you this last week. I met with 3 of you last week, 3 of you that came from YouTube, and I've got 2 more that I'm meeting with this week. And so I keep using that word community, but I appreciate you. Thanks for reaching out when you're in town. Thanks for letting us help you sell your property, help you buy your next property, whatever we've got going on with you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I know there's many more of you out there that just aren't ready yet. You keep watching as long as you need. We will be here for you. But let's dive into this, guys. I'm excited. New listings 44. Man, this goes right in line. I mean, I'm not going to get into it yet, but it's one of my highlighted points. 44 on the new listings in the middle of July. That encourages me on some point that we're going to be making. Pending sales 32. 44 new, 32 pending. Listen, I've beaten this horse. Those pending sales have been the driving force. It hasn't been huge spikes. It's been that steady consistency. We've just been kind of just plowing through on a steady course. And now that the new listings are staying steady, we are making some traction out there, and you're going to see some of those results in a second. Closed properties 27. Boy, does that sound good. 44 new, 32 under contract, 27 closed. Let's look at price changes. 56. Those are down a little bit, okay? Those have been up in the 60s and 70s, all right? This is an important time. Like I'm talking to a lot of sellers this week. Like we're getting activity. The market's still patient, but like this is an important time to be kind of evaluating where you are in the summer. Like we're in the heat of the summer. I accidentally went up on 331 North this week and had to come back down south on Saturday. It was amazing the amount of people coming into town. So that is rocking and rolling. So listen, great numbers this week. And excited to talk to you about this. But listen, in addition to what I'm about to show you, I'm doing the whole quarterly update. If you've never seen that before, I literally sit down and I go through each segment, lay it out. It's going to be like a 45-minute video when it's all said and done. You can play it in the background. We're going to break it out for you in digestible pieces by neighborhood so you can see the whole picture as well. Like if you're just interested in Dallas, just interested in 38 West, or just interested in Destin, we're going to have that broke out for you. But also, if you just want to watch the whole thing, I'm so intrigued by it. I do it every quarter anyway, but I'm bringing that to you, and you will have it sometime this week. But let's throw this up there. Very excited. So let's look at this. 4 things that stood out to me, okay? Number 1, national headlines don't match our market. Look, we've talked about this a lot, but listen, we have not nearly $930 million in sales in Q2 2026 alone. The number of transactions increased and inventory tightened. Now, I say this because I like to paint this picture. If you're going anywhere else on YouTube right now, you can find, you ever seen those videos where somebody's like holding their face like this, like they're shocked, and it's got a big old arrow down? Like that's that fear. Like that's what they look. We're real on this. I've told you when things aren't good, but the majority of YouTube in the state of Florida is very detrimental. So I want to bring you both. Like when it's not good, I'm going to tell you, but when it's good, we're going to talk about that too. So there's no extra fear driving on these graphics. Okay. So that's number one. We've known that, but national headlines don't match our market. Every market has its own personality, and it certainly did in Q2. Look at that graphic, 38, momentum up. Destin, stable. Biggest surprise, Miramar Beach. We talked about this a little bit, and I'm going to really dive into it in the market report when I break it out in the long form. But man, Miramar Beach was the biggest standout. And there's a couple of reasons why. They have a very different inventory type down there. They have some of the oldest stuff that we have in Destin. And then they have a lot of new development. Man, when that newer high rental stuff gets rocking down there, they can see some increased price points. And boy, did they. Okay. So the takeaway, this isn't one Emerald Coast anymore. We talk about that. That's no surprise to this channel, right? There's no like, Casey, how's the market? And I just throw a blanket over that. If you find an agent or a neighbor doing that, stop them, ask them specifically, because we've got stories to tell based on these three right here. Number three, inventory wasn't the story. Man, that's been so much of the story on everything. And it's one thing that we really keep up with, but inventory was not the story, meaning inventory wasn't the reason why things were being held up or anything like that. Inventory went down. Months of inventory went down. Okay. Months of inventory and overall inventory went down because buyer activity went up. Buyers are active. They're just much more selective. We've known that for some time. But what we're saying to you is, sellers, if you move that target, the buyers are there. And there is a ton of evidence on this, right? These quarterly numbers give you a ton of evidence that the buyers are there. Number four, this is a fun one for me. I love this one. Number four, luxury never left. Man, that's a great headline. Luxury never left. Throughout this last couple of years, one thing that I've been consistent in bringing to you is the fact that our highest dollar performers have been performing through all of the ebbs and flows. Okay. We had a house in Seagrove, Mont Blanc. It was named Mont Blanc like 3 or 4 years ago. This will be the third time that home's transaction. I think in the last 6 years. I think the first time was 2020. Gulf Front sold for $24 million off market last week. Cash transaction off market. I think the first time it sold for 18, second time it sold for like 19, something like that, or maybe 16, 19, and now 24. Listen, the high dollar stuff at Watersound, Camp Creek, Alice Beach. I've been bringing you those stories. We had more transactions. I'm going to talk about this on the report. More transactions over $10 million in this quarter than like in the previous 3 years, just in this quarter alone. Okay. Like super compelling stuff, right? Let me look at what else I got written down there so I just don't miss it. Luxury buyers are still buying. High-end demand remain healthy. Luxury became selective, not absent. Man, that's a great phrasing. Luxury is selective, but it's far from gone. Listen, the new stuff is killing it out there, guys. The newer product out there is killing it. And if you've got a polished product out there on the market's coming for you. If you're aligned with the pricing, it's going. So listen, you can probably hear it on my voice. I think let me tell you the reason I like this so much. It kind of echoes why we even do this weekly, right? We've been talking about this and we come to it weekly and go, man, okay, that's super consistent. The pendings are super consistent. The active is super consistent. The price changes are super consistent. And I love compounding interest, right? I'm a fan of it. That's how I live my life. Compounding daily, compounding weekly. That's what we do with this show. And what that's turned into is we woke up and these Q2 numbers are so compelling that there's so many storylines. Miramar Beach is super fascinating. If you didn't see those exact numbers, go back and look at last week. Fascinating. I'm going to be bringing you more of that this week. We're going to break it out. But listen, you guys have known this, but keep preaching this out in the marketplace. If somebody says, how's the market? Or have you heard anything about the market? Or how's everything doing here? Say, what half mile are you interested in? I refuse. If you ask me how the market is, I am not going to tell you a word. Steady, hot, great. Where you want to know. What pricing segment? You want to talk about Miramar Beach or Destin? 38 East or West? Watercolor or Grayton? Like, that's the way we need to be talking, because this quarterly report and that graphic that I had on the screen for you this week and last week shows you just what a difference it makes to be within a certain miles of each other. Like, it's wild. But that's also the beauty of our area. That's what makes 38 and Destin so compelling, is that you can get in your car and you can literally drive through different segments within a few miles of each other that are performing differently. And it can be kind of hard to go through there and visually just go, well, that makes sense. You kind of got to get into the numbers to feel it, right? But here's the overall. News is crazy. Lots going on. Whether you're Bitcoin, whether you're watching the stock, whatever, we are focused on what is happening on the ground and nothing else. So if we're your source for that, thank you. Listen, lots to come this week. Again, meeting more of you. I appreciate it. And I love hearing from you guys. And I'm in the saddle today making a bunch of content. I'm going to bring you that long form quarterly. Just put it on in the background. Love the feedback. Text me. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your thoughts on that graphic that I just gave you. Does it match up with what you're feeling out there? What the neighbors are saying? You know I want to know. You know I love hearing from you. Lob a text to me. 850-502-6044. Let me know. You shocked by some of this? You agree with it? Does it make sense? Like, I love hearing from you. So anyway, I'm staying in the saddle because I got a lot of videos today. Thank you guys. And as always, we will definitely see you next week. Talk to you soon.